Hey, yo, it's good, Black Power. Um, it's your man, David the Magic Negro. I'm posting videos, you know what I'm saying? I'm staying like in tune with what's going on and whatnot, you know. So far as black people are concerned, black consciousness, you know what I'm saying? If you love my accent, I'm from California, you know what I'm saying? Oxnard, California. I'm actually more Mexican than anything, really. You know, the way I grew up, I make some mean ceviche. But anyways, this video, I was checking out, you know, Sonetter TV. Man, I didn't know, you know, brother, you know, has such an extensive career involved in the hip hop community. I'm actually glad that I had a chance to witness this, and I know this is just after he shook off, you know, Polite, and you know, being the type of brothers that he was around, you know, the fact that he knew Black Panther Party, I didn't know none of that stuff. So I'm like, wow, you know, the brother's official. So. And I'm just smoking a cigarette to let y'all know that I'm just the average motherfucker, man. I ain't no better than you, but I tell you what, my aspirations are greater. I read things that you haven't read, and because of that, I want to offer that back. But the whole thing is like, are 95% of black people brainwashed? And I say 95% of all people are brainwashed. But if we're talking specifically about black people and our disposition in America and what we have to face, yeah, everybody got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? It's more than that. You know what I'm saying? There's more going on. You heard of Pizzagate? You know what I'm saying? The pedophiles. I mean, they've been touching little kids for a long time. When the Constitution was written, the age of consent was 10. You know what I'm saying? Go to a tea party here and tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Run, tell that. You know, age of consent was 10. So, I mean, so perspectives and things like that, they change over time. I'm not advocating for that at all. You know, I don't believe in that. That's, you know, that can happen. But what can happen is that we can all come to the table with a common understanding. And the common misunderstanding is that everybody says the Bible contradicts itself. And it's like, no, the Bible doesn't contradict itself. It makes you contradict yourself. And the people that know that it makes you contradict yourself as a computer, you get tripped out and you're like, okay, well, this person has knowledge. But now we're in this, we're now officially in the space age. You know what I'm saying? This shit should have been around. I'm looking at Nikola Tesla, Lord Tesla quotes, and Tesla's, he's like saying like, you know, mankind, you know, it's like you guys are stuck on Einstein's nuts, you know, but we can still use that white boy's mathematics. You know, it's not really his, it's ours, it's our ancestors. And we always forget that. Gotta get a good dope there to smoky, right? Shit. So it's all about keeping it real with me, man. And I'm gonna fight for this. I'm talking soft now and calm, but you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a raging bull, you know, out there with this black consciousness, because we need to pick up this Bible and know that it came from our ancestors. Everybody says the white boys, oh, they never say where it came from. Read Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike, if you can stand it. And you read that, and then you're reading there where he gives credit to the Etruscans, because the Bible came from Egypt. But see, y'all are in Egypt as an upper or lower Egypt, right? You have to know the difference. And the Hebrew Israelite will just parrot off that shit and not understand what lower and upper Egypt is and the fact of the Nile Valley. Dr. Reggie, when you get a chance and you see this. So when we're dealing with Egypt, upper and lower Egypt, we're dealing with troubled waters, okay? Because Egypt is Mizraim, and none of you know this. None of you even talk about it. So anyways, Egypt is Mizraim, or Mizram. Mizraim specifically, because Aim has to do with water. Even when you're dealing with Arabic, you know, and this happens to be Hebrew. So you have Mizraim. If you write that word out and spell it phonetically, you'll see the word misery. And that's where the trouble comes in. Double trouble, troubled waters. You know what I mean? So, and then the Nile Valley is water. Jesus talked about water, you know, rivers, stuff like that, the Jordan River, you know what I mean? And water, you know, and they say, they even give us the shit in K through 12. They told us about, they built civilizations around the water. You know what I'm saying? Because when the water is feeding you, then you're eating, you're drinking, you know, and then you can start understanding Hobbes and Locke and freaking Rousseau and Plato and Aristotle when they're talking about water. You know, so for people who don't understand this, you do have to get more educated on Greek literature, Greek lyrics and shit like that. or else you're going to be a dumbbell and reject the gospel, and they're going to keep raping babies, and then, you know, the war is going to come here. Because don't think that, you know, that you can get away with having predator drones flown around by a president that you were licking his feet, when the last president was just as bad as him, and this guy's even worse because he's like, oh, look at these black people, they love me. Bunch of dummies, but they also let our iPhones in the stand in line for all this nonsense. So you cannot reject Jesus Christ until you talk to David the Magic Negro, until you talk to David Ali Berry. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. No way you could change that. It's what it is. Okay? I love Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to be able to say that. If you can't say that, then you're not reading for yourself. You know, the red words, that's Jesus speaking. You know, just stick to his teachings. What he was talking about. Learn them parables. If you love rap lyrics, you're going to love this. Right? MIDI. You know, I'm going to slide this in 30 seconds. All right. If you've ever used a computer or keyboards and you got to chain them together, with the shit called MIDI. I produced music for a long time, a lot of years, so fuck with a lot of keyboards. So when you do that, you're chaining them together. Now, one of those keyboards is going to be the master, and the rest of them are going to be slaves. So when you see guys on stage playing like a stack of keyboards, they're chained together through MIDI, a process of MIDI, dealing with 16 channels. Ain't got to get into all that. But, oh, I went over 30. But the master controls the slaves, and it's a chain. Corporations, the fucking gray aliens, the gray area in your mind. All right, that's it. Shalom, bye.